Hi guys, so I'm gonna walk through how to do the analysis for the cemetery demographics lab. Again, we are going to be doing this in class, so you do not have to do this on your own. This is only for people who were not in class or who were not able to keep up with what I was doing in class and need to do this at home. Okay, so we have this lab. We are actually at the part two, so a lot of the calculations that we're going to be doing is based on this stuff here. Okay. So I need you to open both the class data, right? The one that we compile all this data, plus your own copy. Because you're gonna be neat. So this is the one that where you had your own data, you took down your raw data, and then you're gonna be so you did all your tallies and stuff, and then you're gonna be uh, inputting things here. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to first bring over the part of the data that we need so that we can manipulate it. Okay, so what you're gonna do is I'm just gonna move this out of the way here. Um, let's see, what we're going to do is we're going to first highlight the parts that we need. So what I want is I actually want the headers. So I'm going to highlight these, the first two rows all the way at the top. It's actually frozen so that it's always at the top. And then you're going to go all the way down to where the totals are, which is here. Now you're going to hold down the control key. Okay, it might be different for Macs. I think maybe it's a command key. I don't know. And while you hold down the control key, you're going to click on a row that has all the totals. So now what you have is you highlighted the top two rows in this row that contains all the data, and you didn't select any of the things in between, right? So now you're gonna copy that, right? And then you're going to go to your own Google Sheets, and we need to make a new sheet to dump this in. So I'm going to click on the plus button here, right, to create a new sheet. You don't really have to worry about naming it or anything. And you're going to paste it here, but you're going to do paste special values only so that it doesn't bring over any formulas. It brings just the numbers, right? So paste special values only. So everything is in this long thing, right? So we need to copy this again, right? Copy here, not the copy from here, because it doesn't transpose very well. And then you're just gonna click anywhere, and then you're going to this time paste special again, transposed. Okay, so now you have all this data that was horizontal now in a vertical format. Okay, so just kind of ignore all this kind of stuff here. So here are your males, pre 1900. Here's your females pre 1900. Right, here is your males post 1900, and so on and so forth. Okay, so now we have this stuff to analyze. Okay, so let's start with the males pre 1900. Right, these are the numbers of the people. Right, these are your totals for each of those. So let's take just your males pre 1900 and copy that data. You're going to go to your data analysis tab, right? And that's going to be your numbers of deaths, right? Paste. Actually, you can probably bring over the ages too. Let's bring all the ages. Copy, right? Age, paste. All right, so now you have your ages and you had your number. So you could have just done both of these together. Sorry to give you an extra step. Okay, so now we need to calculate. Now this is a little bit different from the dolly sheep, even though it's from the same thing. So I'm gonna go by the way they want you to calculate it. They want you to calculate this. What is it? Where'd it go? Standardized deaths, which is I think here. Yeah, standardized number of deaths. Right, which is the death over the total of the population, right? Expressed as per thousand individuals. So this is like crude death rate, I guess, but for individual age classes. So that's going to be this divided by the total. So let's find out what the total is first, right? So let's do equals sum, right? And do the totals, right? And that's your total, right? Now, depending on when you take down the class data, this number might be different. So don't think, and I'm doing it before anybody else. So your value might be a little higher if anybody has added any more data. So this is going to be equals Right. Again, at this point, I really would like you to be able to like take information like this and be able to convert into a formula. Right. So it's going to be equals that, right, divided by the total, which is that, right, and times 1,000 because this is kind of out of 1,000 individuals, right? So let's um, put that in parentheses and multiply by 1,000, right? So there it is. Okay, so that's the standardized number of deaths. Now we want to be able to take this and paste it, but we can't because we wanted to um, lock this the sum. So we need to put a little dollar sign. No, not here. Dollar sign here, right? For the denominator here. Dollar B $23. Here you go. Enter. Okay, so that should work. And now I'm going to take that and then paste it in. So that's the standardized number of deaths. Hold on, let me just kind of get rid of some decimal places. Just don't like seeing so many. Okay. All right. So that's that. All right. So what? Now let's see. Survivorship here. Survivorship is a survivorship of the previous age class minus the standardized number of deaths in the previous age class. Okay. All right. So remember, we are assuming everybody was born when everybody was alive when they're born. So we're starting with 1,000 people. So 1,000 out of 1,000 was alive at birth at the very beginning of all of this, right? And starting from the next one, we're saying it's the number, the survivorship minus the standardized death from the previous, right? So it's that, right? And we're gonna now just continue that pattern all the way down, right? So this number should come down. So at the beginning of the 0 to 5 age class, there was 1,000 individuals that we're starting out with that was alive. Um, by this age group, the beginning of age group, this many people are alive. Beginning of this age group, this many people are alive, right? So this number should go down until at the beginning of the age 90 to the rest of it, there was 50 point some people alive. Okay, so that's the survivorship. Now, I think when we did the dollar sheep, the survivorship was, it's out of one, so it was like a decimal. But they want you to do it this way. Let's see, yeah, because they want this survivorship to go from 0 to 1,000 on this axis. And we're gonna have to do it in log two. All right, and then we want mortality. Mortality is the survivorship divided by the survivorship for that age class, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Divided by the standardized number of deaths uh, by the survivorship. So it's the death divided by the survivorship. So it should be, let's see, mortality rate equals death divided by the number. Okay, here we go. Right? So I think it's like you again, let's move this decimal place over so we can actually see compare. All right, so yeah, it should start out smaller and it should get well, actually it could vary, right? It shows that mortality rate was actually higher for the 0 to 5 age group compared to the next one. So the mortality rate is quite high for the infants, right? And then it kind of reaches minimum. Oh, it's probably looks like 11 to teenagers are doing pretty well, right? And then the mortality increases a lot as they get older. And by the time you're 90 plus, you're guaranteed to die, right? Because you're eventually gonna die. So that's the mortality rate. So okay, so this is what we want to calculate for all of the different age groups, right? So remember, we did all that. We don't want to have to redo it. We just want to be able to. So the only thing that's changing is this, right? The number of deaths. All of these are just formulas. So we should be able to just put this in. So let's duplicate this data, right? Duplicate, right? So now I have a copy of that. In this copy, we're going to make this males post. Actually, let's do females. I think that comes next, right? Oops, what's wrong with this? So let's do females. Females. Pre 1900. Okay. So let's also change the name so we can find it again. So I'm renaming the tabs. So this is data analysis for males. I'm just gonna shorthand it. Uh, Pre 1900. This is gonna be rename. Um, Females before 1900. Okay. So, all right. So females before 1900. All right. Let's go back to the sheet where we dumped all that data. Here's females before 1900. We just want the data. Just make sure you are, and if you want to color this so that you can make sure you can see it more, identify the blocks more clearly, you can do that. But just make sure you're going from 0 to 5, and then the 90 plus. Right. You're gonna copy that, and then you're gonna go to the female before 1900, and we are just changing this part. Paste. There we go. All right, and it just everything just took care of it. Isn't that beautiful? All right, the total is good, and then it's referring to the total. Right, just make sure all the calculation it's doing is still doing what you want it to do. Right. Okay, looks good. Let's duplicate that. Now I'm gonna do copy. Let's see. So this one is now um this is now males greater than 1900. Okay, and you probably want to also change this too. So males post 1900. Okay, so let's find males post 1900 from here to here. Okay, copy this one and then to change that part. All right. So, all right. So this is basically what you're gonna do. Do it. Continue. You just have one more to go. All right. So now what we need to do is we need to put all this together so that we can graph it. Right. All right. And it's in different things, and there's a lot of things in between. So let's just make a just. I mean, you know what? I'm just gonna use this as my where I'm gonna just dump a lot of data here. So I'm gonna just take the last sheet here. Let's do the age. Right. And then we need ages going from 0, and we did it every 5 years. 15, 20, right? And we want to go all the way to like 90, right? Maybe not 95. Let's see how it goes. Right. Because when we graph, the x-axis has to be numbers. We can't have these ranges, right? And then we're gonna need males pre 1900, females, females pre 1900, males post 1900, and females post 1900. Okay, so you got all that, and then we're just gonna start pulling in data. A survivorship. We just want these to be survivorship. Age. We'll do that later. Okay. Um, Pool or survivorship. So we're graphing survivorship. Okay, survivorship. Right. So basically, okay, I need to copy and paste special. Paste special values only. There you go. Okay. Remember to do that. Paste special values only. Survivorship for females. Right. Copy. Right. All right. Now I'm gonna just do it as far as here. You're gonna do the rest so that all four should be filled up. Special values only. Okay, so once you have all your data, right, you can have all this data here too. You're going to highlight the area where you're going to graph, okay, and you're going to go to insert chart, right? And here's your graph. Now, there's a lot of things still wrong with this. It's graphing age as a line here, which we don't want. So let's say if you have your setup here, I think here, use column F as labels. So that should be labels, right? So now that's gone. Um, and then let's see, we don't want a column chart, you want a line graph. So maybe, yeah, I can need to do one of these, or actually, they both look pretty similar. I'm going to stick with the yeah, no, the curve is good. Right, it's up to you. Right. So yeah, this is under chart type, so you should make that into a line graph. Right. We need to label these axes here. The x-axis is age. So let's see. Let's go to customize. Go to chart axis and titles. Horizontal axis is age and years. Right. And then the vertical axis is survivorship. Survivorship. Let's see. What are they calling it on this thing? Log number of survivors. Okay. Let's say log number of survivors. So this is going to be, because we're going to change that to log number of survivors. Okay. And this needs to be in log scale. So click on the line here, do log scale. Here it goes. Ooh, beautiful. Right. Okay. So here is the graph so far. Like I said, you should have 4 lines because you have 4 data. I only kind of did 2 because I'm just in interest of time. And I also just want you to do it on your own. So here's the data. And um, uh, you should copy that, right? Copy chart, and you should insert it into your document, which is this one, right? You're gonna answer all those questions, and I think somewhere in there, I'm probably asking you for the graph. I forgot where. Yeah, yeah. Construct survivorship curves of males and females, each population, and insert it here. So you're going to be pasting it right there, and this is where you're going to be. This is going to be the start of the rest of your analysis. Okay. All right. Hope this was helpful. Bye bye.